less smoke in the air. My allergies are killing me.
I hear ya.
Agreed. Awful.
All right, we have a full quorum, and I have 4:30 on my clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call this planning commission meeting to order. I am going to reverse the order tonight. We're going to take the item 3A first, and then we will take 2B and then 2A. So let's jump down to item 3A, consideration to the final plat of Linview Estates First Edition at 865 Shorewood Drive, Bristland Construction. Larry,
This is a 10-lot residential plat.
can you get closer to the mic?
Closer.
There you go.
This is a 10-lot residential plat. We've approved the preliminary plat. This is the final plat. Staff recommends approval of the final plat, provided that the owner obtain any Pelican River Watershed District permit, that they obtain a land disturbance permit, that they provide any utility or drainage easements deemed necessary by the city engineer. And with that, I recommend approval.
And this is the one where they're doing the storage units? Or this
No,
is
this
the,
is the
oh no,
one
this is
out
the
on
one,
Shorewood
this, sorry,
Drive.
this is down there. I was thinking of the other one. My apologies. Yep. All right, questions, comments, discussion, or a motion from the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat of the Linview Estates with the 3 recommendations from the staff. Yeah,
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. I will call to order a public hearing to give consideration to an amended variance to allow a 20-foot setback from the property line adjacent to the road right-of-way, a setback of 41 feet from the ordinary high water mark, and a 33.1% impervious surface coverage for construction of a 2-story home at 1217 West Lake Drive for James and Pam Benedict. Larry, go ahead.
Yes, this request is coming back to us because there was a slight error in the measurements, and the owner would like to have a setback of 41 feet from the ordinary high water mark. Also, when the council reviewed it, their feeling was that the impervious surface coverage should remain at 30%, and the applicant should get a mitigation permit for that portion of the variance. So basically, we would be approving a variance with a 20-foot front yard setback and a 41-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark. Otherwise, it's the same as what they requested originally.
Okay. At this time, if there's anyone that would like to address the council and make a comment on this, please come forward. Any public comments? All right, not hearing any public comments, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing, and I will open it up to the council for discussion, or to the commission for discussion.
Yeah, Larry, what is the difference from what I've got the numbers, but what was the
The only
difference from what we
difference
approved
was-
before?
The original request was for a 43-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark, but after they got more serious with their ruler, they found that they were only 41 feet from the ordinary high water mark.
So nothing has changed, they just,
Nothing is,
Different
nothing has
measurement.
changed, it's just more accurate measurements.
Same impervious surface coverage.
The impervious surface coverage is going to be 30%. We're not granting them the variance for 33.1%.
Okay. All right, any further discussion or a motion? Any further discussion or a motion from the commission?
And we are going with the conditions, or Larry, you are recommending the conditions as follows
Yes,
with the 6 listed conditions that are there, is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay.
and those were the same conditions that you had before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would move to approve the request for variance with the changed numbers including the impervious surface as well as the setback and following, excuse me, all requirements, the 6 requirements.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve this with the stated conditions from the city. Any further discussion on the motion? Are we using the stated findings from the city? My apologies, used the wrong word.
Sorry, Sean, they do have findings and conditions in the staff report.
Okay, so, and so your motion is for the findings and
And the conditions,
Okay,
yes.
we'll just be clear. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you.
And Andrew, you're good with that? All right,
I am good with that.
okay. All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. I will call to order a public hearing to give consideration to a conditional use permit to allow the extraction of materials at 983 Richwood Road. Larry, will you give us a quick rundown of this?
Yes, there are 2 items in your packet. One is the staff report. The other is a fact sheet that was just handed out this afternoon. Basically, this is a gravel mining operation. The project consists of the extraction of 500,000 cubic yards of gravel and topsoil from this site. The plan is to take about a 10-year time frame to remove all of that material. And basically, the facts, I'm going to read the facts from the fact sheet. And I would like to have these included in the resolution that we present to the council. First, the property at 983 Richwood Road is owned by the Detroit Lakes Development Authority. 2, prior to purchasing, the city had been trying to acquire the Cleveland property for more than 30 years for development of industrial park lots. 3, the land adjacent to the property has been zoned industrial for 29 years and includes the Detroit Lakes North Industrial Park. The adjacent Detroit Lakes North Industrial Park was platted in 1996. The industrial park was developed in part with EDA grant funds. The former Cleveland farm was annexed to the city and zoned industrial in 2018. The 500,000 cubic yards of gravel and topsoil will be removed from the site through mining operations or as a site grading for development of the industrial lots. So whether we approve this mining conditional use permit, the material is still going to have to be removed. So we're going to have excavation and truck traffic regardless of whether we do it through this mining operation or if we just do it as site preparation. The exposed areas will be re-established with turf within 14 days after the area is graded and reach the final plan grade. The site will be lowered by approximately 15 feet and will be graded for development of industrial park lots. The hours of operation are limited to daylight hours between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. The use contemplated by the proposed project is in harmony with the surrounding neighborhood, does not jeopardize zoning standards in the area, and will promote the general welfare of the community by utilizing the valuable resource for road and construction projects and creation of new industrial park lots. The development will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood as the site will be mined and graded to a usable elevation. 2, the proposed project has adequate access to public roadways and public facilities. The project will serve a demonstrated need for the materials extracted, and the proposed project is in an area deemed industrial by the comprehensive plan. So with those facts in mind, staff is recommending the approval of the conditional use permit subject to the following conditions. 1, that the applicant obtain all required federal, state, and local permits. 2, that the hours of operation are limited to daylight hours between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And 3, that the final grade be completed as shown on the grading plan.
All right, thank you, Larry, I appreciate that. All right, at this time, I will open up for any public comments. If you'd like to make a comment, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. Any public comments? All right, hearing none, I will close the public hearing and open it up to the commission for discussion. or a motion for that matter.
I do have a couple of questions, Larry. In the Apex grading plan that was attached to the,
Yes.
they indicated that excavation will occur on their notes between dawn and dusk. But based on staff recommendations, we're saying 8 AM
Well,
to 8.
Not only based on staff recommendation, but the lease that we've signed with Haug Incorporated includes that limitation.
It does include it in the lease.
Yes.
Okay. Larry, if you don't mind, and you may not have that answer, I'm looking to see if somebody does, but I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at the truck route management. I can clearly see that they're saying no hauling on one portion of it, but can you tell me if, based on the map that we have in our possession, if the hauling is going to occur on the streets that you identified adjacent to the property? And
Well,
Larry, you can tell me you
Mike,
don't have that answer.
do you know which routes you're going to be using for hauling?
Yeah, it'd be I think there's 2 points of access on the east side.
Can you do me a favor and just come up to the podium? That way we can hear it and have it on the record.
There's 2 points of access on the east side going out to the industrial park. And then on the north, there's also an access point. The direction we would not be going is west past a residence that still remains there. So,
And that is where it says no hauling on
Right.
it? Okay, I appreciate that response.
you bet.
Initially, when we talked about rezoning, here, another question I have, sorry, everyone. When we initially talked about rezoning, we talked about a 3 to 5 year period of time. I'm not going to assume, but because it's now a 10-year lease, it looks as if we're using the excavated material for future project use, is that correct? Over a 10-year period of time versus a 3 to 5 year period of time.
Yeah, there was just so much material because I think the city engineer's office actually changed the grading plan to lower it, and it created even more, so it'll be more usable in the future. So given the amount of volume, it would take about a 10-year time frame, we think, to comfortably to use the material.
Use the
So,
material.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that, thank you.
Mike, I got a question. So this material that's being extracted, where's that getting hauled to? Is it some of it being stored on site or?
It'll be hauled off-site for further processing, screened and washed. We don't intend to do any of that on-site. It would just be extraction. There might be some screening on-site, but for the most part, we'd be hauling the material off to projects.
Thank you.
All right, other questions or discussion from the commission? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve staff's findings and recommendations regarding the conditional use permit.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the staff's findings and recommendations as presented. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, we'll take that forward then from there. With that, Larry, is there anything else?
I have nothing else except to say that we will not be having our regular planning commission meeting because all of the items that were on the agenda have been taken care of.
That is outstanding. And you all are here. We have a full commission. Where's the picture when you need one? All right, with that, I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.